Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 29 of Nintendo Podcast System with me, Sam Spade, and joining me, as always, are Jack Thorne and Matthew Gibson.
Evening.
Hello. Hello. So yeah.
So it's been a little while.
About a month. Yeah, it's been a month since the last one, since lovely people at Monsanto Offline came on. Now we're back.
Lovely people.
Oh yeah, because we went to London and we met them.
Yes, we did.
Oh, did you?
We did. That was good fun, actually.
When was this?
Yeah, we went to London for the day to play Pokemon Go with lots of other people.
And took over Big Ben and the London Eye and...
Oh, okay.
That was good fun.
Yeah, we took over the gyms over there. That was cool. And then we got sort of lost on the underground. I got lost on the underground. Sam knew where he was going, and then we ended up in Peckham at Four Quarters, the bar over there. And they had a massive Monster Hunter event in there, and it was really good fun. So
yeah,
cool.
It was more of a sauna than a guild. It was just like really warm.
It was rather warm in there. They did have a big aircon fan going, but it didn't really help where we were. But yeah, it was a really good event, and they seemed to have lots of dedicated hunters, and they all seemed pretty happy about it. So it was all cool.
Good.
It was awesome.
I picked up the game in London.
Yes, we had a fun little adventure down Regent Street. We trying to find the game, and we walked past. Was it Is it Hamleys?
Hamleys, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it'd be funny if game got taken over by Hamleys, and we just walked past it, and then we were like, we just cannot find this game, and then we managed to come back to Hamleys, looked inside, and we're like, oh, it's downstairs in the Hamleys. So
walked all the way up and down Regent Street, and it's like, yeah, it's over there. So, oops.
Ah.
But never mind. Yeah, I picked up Monster Hunter Generations in there, and it's been good so far.
I may pick it up for my birthday because, I want to get Tokyo Mirage Sessions for my birthday because there hasn't really been much else. So for 3DS, I may go with Monster Hunter Generations.
Yeah.
Yes,
and then for birthday money, if I do get any, then I'll be spending it on Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix and Pokemon Sun. So, can't wait for both.
Nice.
So it's been a good while. A lot has happened,
Sweet.
And a lot we'll be talking about. For example, a lot of NX stuff. That'll be our discussion. I think that's our first discussion in ages, I believe. We haven't had a proper discussion for a while.
It's due to the point we natter on so much about so much news, and then we're like, oh, that's part of the discussion.
Yeah. So this is the first time that we've actually had a planned discussion. We've got a good amount of news. Of course, the big Pokemon Sun and Moon stuff that has come about in the last couple of weeks, and some smaller news that came out in about past couple of days of recording. And as usual, we have what we've been playing, and shout-outs at the end. So it should be a packed episode. And Jack, you are choosing the music this time, so what will be the intro music, the opening music this time?
It is Hyrule Temple, the melee version. So yeah, whee!
Anyway, so hope you enjoyed the opening, and I hope you enjoy this episode. And with that, let's move on to the next section. So this is the news section right now. We've got, as I said, we've got a decent amount of news, and we will be covering a lot of Pokemon news.
We'll save that to the end, though. We'll save all the juicy stuff.
Oui. So coming up first, this
juicy tall palm trees.
What?
Talking about talking about
Nothing.
About
Just carry on.
Um, so the first one is that Nintendo of Europe and ESL, which are a very highly rated esports organization, they are teaming up to bring Splatoon online tournaments. This will be going on for 6 months and will be starting in early September. So we'll be bringing together Splatoon players from all across Europe, and I think it's good. It's good to see that Nintendo are embracing esports, because, and I think I would like to see. Well, there has been more of that in America at least, because the Smash Bros scene isn't that big over here in the UK. But over in the US, we have seen Nintendo supporting and sponsoring events like Apex, I believe Super Smash Con, which was very recent, Evo as well. So it's good to see Splatoon also getting support from Nintendo as well. And it deserves it, because like right now, Smash and Splatoon, they're the two big esports ones, and I think Pokken as well could be another one. But I think the biggest right now are Splatoon and Smash. So it's nice to see that Nintendo are recognising their presence in the competitive scene and supporting them. So what do you guys think of this?
I'd like to see more details on it when it comes out, like how they're going to run it and stuff like that, and even the setups would be nice to see as well.
Because earlier today, this was recorded.
I think in general.
Go on, Jack.
What? Sorry.
In general.
I think like in general, it's a good idea to have like more like competitive games going on. Splatoon is definitely a good one in terms of maybe possibly things like Mario could use, but
maybe
it's one of those. It's never really seen as a competitive console. Maybe they're going to try and turn it into that in some of their games. But
it could be like we could be seeing that with.
I don't know a lot about ESL.
Well, I watched the ESL Splatoon thing today. It was on a stream, and there was 4 top teams. I'm not sure how they got decided. Maybe perhaps through a separate tournament. But basically, those games were streamed live on Twitch and were broadcast from Gamescom. And it was just very exciting to see like professional commentators and these professional players as well. Just going at it, seeing all the techniques that they use. So yeah, I thought that was very exciting to watch. But the thing is that like this 6-month thing, these are online tournaments, so it may be a bit trickier to set up streams where people can watch, or it. Whereas if they did a live tournament, for example, what I just did at Gamescom, that was very more exciting. You could get like a better presence with commentators, just more lively feel. You can see the action directly, so it's that sort of thing. Whereas if I think with online tournaments, you could always get internet issues. There could always be a bit of complications. So,
yeah, we had that during when we did Street Pass UK Splatoon Fest. There was so many connection issues. Like someone had trouble getting on, or like it was so hard to try and balance and get it going.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Do one of you want to talk about the new Yooka-Laylee footage?
Well, they've just recently released a video. They also gave out what they call toy box demos for Yooka-Laylee, like you could get through on computer. And they've just shown more stuff now recently within the past day or two. I think it was at Gamescom as well. A little bit more gameplay, some of the new features and functions. So Yooka and Yooka-Laylee can transform into, I think was what was in the video, a truck, which was quite interesting. There are more enemies now, so they're starting to take shape. The antagonist, who looks like a very demented-looking wasp-y thing.
Well, I think he was introduced earlier on, wasn't he?
Yeah,
a while
they've
back.
given him more shape though now, and it's kind of more definite.
His design is sort of a look at from Grunty from Banjo-Kazooie sort of shape now. You
Yeah.
definitely see the resemblance, but I think what they're actually planning on using the actual character and story as a corporation trying to take over, and I think they're sort of doing it as a joke towards Microsoft sort of thing, as their former employers and things like that. So, which is an interesting one. Yeah, I think it looks brilliant so far. From the videos I've seen in it last couple of days at Gamescom and previously at E3 as well. I just think this looks like an outstanding game.
The only thing I'm waiting to see if it will be coming to the NX. Like, I'm not sure if it will.
We use definite NX.
Yeah. It could be because it's Yooka-Laylee's launching right around the NX because it's a quarter one release.
We'll have to see. I reckon they might do. It would be a smart move, but I think it's best to stay and focus on what they've got first, then expand later. Get it good first, then start expanding, because otherwise we'll end up with games that I've seen that are just not finished and get pushed back, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, I reckon it might be, but get it good first.
I can't wait. I think I'll definitely be putting a pre-order in for this game.
Yeah, it looks like a very good spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie.
I think it's of like the 3 games I want to get in the next like year or so. I think with like South Park coming out for the Xbox, and I'll be probably picking that up. But of course Zelda, and I think Yooka-Laylee's the other one I'll definitely be picking up next year. But I'm waiting to see if there's any more releases yet. But, have to wait to see that one. Yeah, definitely shaping up well. I'm really looking forward to it.
Anyway,
moving on to the next bit.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap has been confirmed to be the next edition coming to the Wii U Virtual Console. Originally released on the Nintendo 64. They are finally getting a Pokemon Snap game. They're finally getting a Pokemon Snap game on the Wii U, so everybody can finally shut up.
Oh, come on! Have you played it?
Well, to be fair, I haven't played it, but it's just taking pictures of Pokemon. Like,
yeah,
what?
It sounds like it, but you need to download it and play it.
Fair
and find
enough.
out
Like,
it's an on-rail shooter, but you're shooting with a camera.
I wonder if I put like gyroscope function, using the motion sensing of the pad to turn.
I don't think they
I
are.
would imagine that. Nah.
That would be a good idea.
That would be a good idea, but I think that would be entirely too much effort. But who knows?
I mean, I think a lot of people have said it that like Pokemon Go has sort of turned into Pokemon Snap 2 because you can still take photos of them while you catch them and stuff. But it's not quite the same, is it?
I can see your point.
I can see why there hasn't been a sequel though, because in this game, I think there's only 68 Pokemon which are available to take photos of.
Really?
And there's currently 721.
Well, even more.
Yeah,
now,
it hasn't got
Sun and
all.
Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was only the first generation at the time. It was 151, and I think it's just the amount of models and stuff they had to redo to be able to get them into this game was just crazy. They had all the models they did for Pokemon Stadium, but then to get them into Pokemon Snap as well, it was just a lot of hard work and things, especially when you get bonus points on your photos you take for having the multiples of the same Pokemon in one photo. So I think they've sort of done that and made sure there's more of the same Pokemon rather than having loads of different models of individual Pokemon.
I guess so.
Just to sort of save it a bit of time and storage space and things like that. But yeah, it's a really good game. I think if you haven't played it before and you really enjoy Pokemon, I would definitely recommend it.
Okay.
It's not very long, but it's still really good fun. It's one of those I spent a lot of time on as a kid, so really good. I don't know how much it is on the eShop. I don't know if it's that much, but yeah, well worth a look.
Right.
So yeah.
So moving on, Dr. Cortex from Crash Bandicoot series has been confirmed to come into Skylanders Imaginations, and both Crash. Yeah. I didn't see the trailer though, but Crash and Cortex will be compatible with every version of Skylanders Imaginations. Is it Imaginators or Imaginations?
Was this?
I think it's Imaginations. Yeah.
Imaginators.
I
think it is.
Oh,
was this a leak? Because I saw a picture of the actual case with both Crash and Cortex inside it. Now, I don't know if this was from Gamescom or if it was a leak before.
I think I think it technically was a leak with the Cortex thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see them still using Crash and Cortex, but this is Skylanders, so
yeah.
But like Crash was like one of my first video game franchises, so it's cool to see him coming back at least.
Yeah,
sadly,
it's sadly
the first
not.
Three.
Yeah, I
it's
guess
just
so.
one level. It's just one level. I've watched a video on it. It's just one level. They've stayed quite true to like the Crash formula with like side platforming, behind view, and all that, and like the items. But it's only one level, sadly. It's just a bit of a bummer.
I was basically just thinking, will they be able to use them in like the previous games of Skylanders versions they've got? Because I know a few of the models they have you can reuse in other games on other previous versions or newer versions. So they could always be useful for the next game they bring out after this.
I guess so.
One maybe. Or
hopefully, yeah.
Because the whole platform and like individual statues aren't exactly cheap things to buy. So.
Well.
Anyway,
moving on.
Yooka-Watch 2, the sequel to Yooka-Watch, as you may not know, is coming to Europe next year in 2017, which I think fits well with releasing one installment every year, because that's what happened with it in Japan, that's what's happening with it in America, so it's good to see Yooka-Watch 2 is coming to Europe as well. Still no Inazuma 11 Go 3. Which is just like I've almost given it up. I think it's becoming a meme now, like our own meme. Because it really won't get localized, will it? It never will be.
Kind of reminds me of I know it's not a Nintendo game. It reminds me of Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. Like 1 and 2 came out, we were waiting for 3, and then nothing ever happened in the end. It came out, but never got localized to Europe, which is a real nightmare. That was sad.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a shame when these things happen.
Because it's just like it's the final one in a trilogy. You want to complete the trilogy.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Why? Anyway.
Because the things happen in the pipeline. They just finance issues. They might not be able to get the permit to localize.
Guess so.
Things happen.
Or they just don't think they're going to sell as many copies as they want to. Maybe that's the main thing.
That may be the case, because then Inazuma 11 is not a greatly popular franchise.
It's just a strange one.
In the UK at least.
You'd thought it'd be. You'd thought in Europe it'd probably be the most popular in terms of being like a football RPG in theory. But...
Nah, I wouldn't say so, because it's like kind of anime in RPG. So it's like not really. Anyway, but speaking of Inazuma 11, there is a new Inazuma 11 game coming. It is Inazuma 11 Rs. It's coming out 2017. There is a bit of info all the speculation that we'll get into in our discussion. I wonder what that could mean. But with this one, apparently it's taking place in an alternate universe.
Right.
I think that's what it is, which I like because, and I believe they're going back to the basics. So there's nothing that was introduced in Go games, which I think made things a tad bit too easy. So I'm glad to see them going back to the basics. So there is still that bit of challenge with just focusing on the moves and stuff like that. They showed off. Well, this was level 5. It was shown off during their Vision event on July 27th. They showed off about 5 minutes of the pilot episode, a little trailer for it, and it looks good. Well, for the anime at least, this is. So no gameplay footage. So I hope it comes out well. But I did enjoy the anime, so it's good to see that we're getting more Inazuma 11 stuff.
Yes.
Yay!
Speaking of level 5, a new Professor Layton game is coming.
Well, not really Professor Layton.
Not Professor Layton, but his daughter.
Lady Layton.
Lady Layton. I forget her first name, sadly, but this will be more in the vein of the normal games. So I believe this happens after the main Professor Layton games, yeah. And apparently Professor Layton has gone missing. But the chapters this time around are individual cases, because Lady Layton has now set up her own detective agency. So it's kind of cool to see the protagonist as an official detective sort of character, rather than just a professor that happens to solve mysteries. Although I think, now that I think about it, I like the premise of the first of the original Professor Layton more. But the cases will be, so the chapters will be individual cases. So there's no overarching story, I believe. Well, there is. Well, I imagine there will be an overarching story.
Catriel Layton.
Yeah, that's the name, I believe.
Yes.
But gameplay wise, it is the same as usual. So you go around solving puzzles. The graphics wise, they look great as always. There's a talking dog. Only level 5 could really pull that off.
You said that so casually.
Dog.
Yeah, there is.
There's a talking dog.
Yeah, there is. Only level 5 can really pull that off, really. But the interesting thing is that this is coming to the 3DS as well as iOS and Android, which shows off the fact that level 5 are moving towards more of a mobile business, because they also revealed that Yooka-Watch, the original, will be coming to mobile as well, and I think the second one, I'm not too sure, but a lot more of their stuff are coming to mobile as well. But it's good to see that Lady Layton isn't just on mobile, unlike Layton 7, which I believe hasn't been cancelled yet, and I'm thinking why, because no one really wants that. And the other one, Mystery Room, which is sort of like a visual novel spin-off. So yeah, so I'm very excited for both those games because I really like both franchises. So it's good to see both of them getting new installments after a long absence.
I mean, the Layton games are fairly popular, aren't they? So they've done well. So it's good to see another one in the franchise.
And people like the protagonist, so that's good.
Yeah.
So on to
Pokemon news.
Yeah, Pokemon stuff. Aside from Pokemon Snap a bit earlier. So first of all, Legendary Pictures have acquired film rights to the Pokemon franchise. This sort of ties in with rumours a couple of months back, I believe in June or May, that there were a lot of people wanting the Pokemon movie rights, because Pokemon's a big franchise, of course, so I don't really need to explain that. So it turns out Legendary Pictures have acquired those film rights. their first movie will be Detective Pikachu.
Gosh.
Which is strange, but also a thing. Because it's strange because it's Detective Pikachu, which hasn't even been announced for Western release yet. So that's weird. So I hope it does turn out coming here. But it's also a thing because if this is going to be a live action movie, that'll fit in quite well. Because Detective Pikachu does seem to be a bit more of a mature, not mature looking, but like a more realistic looking Pokemon game. So I think if they get the CG down well, they could do something really special. And I think as well in that in the original trailer, in the debut trailer for Detective Pikachu, they use a CG animated Pikachu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen.
So I thought that was good. So if they could like get to see computer animated ones down as well as that, then that would be good. But this piece of news came about very recently. Is that the writers for the writers for Guardians of the Galaxy and
Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah.
and Gravity Falls, who are Nicole Perlman and Alex Hirsch, respectively, they may be the writers, and they are quite renowned. So so that excites me because movies based on video games are normally shite. So it's good to see that these may be in good hands.
I know Alex is a very good writer. I've watched Gravity Falls and it's actually pretty well written.
Good.
Both from how could I just put it? From a main story and then it's extra bits in the background that actually make the story even deeper.
Oh, cool.
So if he and Nicole are doing this, I think that's gonna turn out pretty good storyline wise.
Yeah, I think...
Well, they did well with Rocket Raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy, so maybe they could do the same for Pikachu.
Maybe.
Hopefully he gets a big tree to follow him around and stuff as well. Be really cool.
Maybe. Well, there is a tree Pokemon, and I think it does appear in Detective Pikachu. I forget its name, but it's from Kalos. So it's good to see that there's no word when a Pokemon game will be coming, but I'm very excited for it, because I don't really watch movies much myself. So, I do see movies, I go to cinemas a good amount of times. I say, well, not often, more occasionally, but I do like to see movies, but this is a video game movie that has piqued my interest, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
A bigger Pokemon game has gotten a lot of stuff recently. Specifically, two reasonably well-sized trailers. The first one coming out 1st of August, and the second one coming out on the 11th of August. Coming out a bit earlier than planned because of leaks. I'm just gonna open up here so people at home may hear something. So they just heard a Pika, possibly.
Pika.
Yeah. So let's start with so the first bit. Pokemon from previous generations are getting new Alolan forms.
Oh, yes.
So this is very exciting because it just shows...
Is it? I'm really confused.
You're only saying that just because for some reason you don't like the new Raichu form.
Oh, it's awful.
salty as heck about it.
It's so
Why?
bad.
No,
You're
it's
the,
not.
You're the only person in the world not to like
I've-
surfing Pikachu that has been caused by eating
It's
round
yeah,
and fluffy
expands on
pancakes.
surfing Pikachu, dude. Like, get over it.
Dude.
Yeah, but surfing Pikachu is actually useful, whereas like Raichu's on his tail does nothing
What do you
really.
mean?
Jack, he's
Okay.
a psychic type, for God's sake. It's an expansion on one
So
type.
it makes him
Let's just explain.
weaker. It makes him even
Let-
weaker.
Let's just explain Alolan forms as a whole. So basically, these
Right, do
are
it.
new additions to Sun and Moon. I believe you can't get the original forms in Alola. You have to, if you do want the original forms, you have to get them from other games, like transferring over Pokemon Bank, etc., etc.
This is why it's been introduced in Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow, so that you can actually get the
good
original
idea.
forms.
I never thought about that.
Mm.
Oh yeah, so we've got Executor, who is now Palm Tree, and also a meme. And
He's
that's
now
down-
a dragon
He's
type
not
as well.
just
Dragon
a
type.
palm tree. He's not just a palm tree. He's a palm tree like this, a massive, huge thing that goes right up to the ceiling. It's ridiculous.
and also a
It's
Palm
crazy.
Tree.
It's mental, but awesome. So
It does look quite goofy, but I love it though. He's got like a massive grin on his face. It's so funny.
did you notice the tail?
He looks. The expression on his face is like, oh, I can see my house from here.
Did you see the tail?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
the
like
extra
your
face.
that was your avatar on Twitter for a good while.
Yeah, it's got an extra egg on his tail.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but it is quite a cool little thing because in one of the Pokédex entries for Executor, it mentions in sunnier climates their trees do grow. I mean, they do expand. So they've used that Pokédex entry to
Yeah.
say, okay, we can actually use that and make it an actual proper palm tree.
So stuff
So
like
it's nice
that.
that they've
Yeah.
gone back and used something like that.
So it's just stuff like that, like just makes you like just really happy just to see a developer pay so much attention to their past games.
Mm.
But yeah, but it is just funny to
Uh,
see like Executor being like this massive thing now. Anyway,
Palm tree.
the next one to
What
receive
about the?
Well,
Yeah, go on.
the
go on,
next
go on.
ones are oh wait well following on from Executor's new form, these forms are caused about by adaptations. So in the next two, or rather next two lines of Pokemon, they're now ice type. So the first line is the Vulpix lines, that includes both Vulpix and Ninetales. They are now ice types, and they look rather Christmassy, but they also look like...
Ninetales is also a fairy.
Yes.
Ice
yeah,
fairy.
Ninetales
Ice fairy type.
also gets the fairy type.
I'm not sure about Vulpix.
No,
But,
Vulpix is just
yeah,
ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you've also got Sandshrew and Sandslash. They are now also ice types.
They're also part steel.
Part of Steel. Oh yeah. I forgot
Ooh.
about that bit.
Mm.
I didn't know that one. So that's cool.
Yeah. We
I
can
do like
thank
Sandshrews little igloo on his head. It's quite cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sancho looks like an
It's nice.
igloo. He's so cute.
It's
Little igloo-y head.
But it's very strange. I don't
It is
know.
strange,
It's just some like
but I like
I
it
like the
though.
originals.
I like it though because it just gives like a bit of fresh air to them, you know.
Mm.
yeah, I guess.
So that's what I
Maybe.
like about them. But
Mm.
and then in the second trailer, we see that Meowth has a new form. We don't know about Persian, but this
It's
Meowth,
dark type, isn't it?
yeah, and looks
Yeah,
to be.
It does make more sense, to be fair,
I think
because
so.
Yeah.
Persian is a dark type from Generation 2 onwards.
Mm.
I don't
Whereas
like.
Meowth was always a normal type. So.
I don't like the pose. It looks a bit.
It's sexy Meowth.
Not sexy.
It looks.
What are
it
you
looks
into? What
camp.
are you into, Jack? What are you into?
It looks really camp. Ham. It's like, oh, hello.
Well, I read on the site, and I put this in my article as well, is that Meowth's change has been caused because Meowths used to be sent to the royal family from other generations as a gift. So this Alola's royal family. So they used to be sent there as a gift. But they were treated to a life of pampering and luxury, and that's what caused them to change into this new form where they are now snobbish and selfish and stuff like that. But they have now become and they've now become common Pokemon of the region when the royal monarchy fell. So
they hate two things: a wound to their pride and dirt on their coins.
Yep.
So basically, you're saying that sexy Meowth got out there a bit.
Right. No. No. The name of this episode is now going to be called Jack's Meow Fetish, because you're calling it sexy when it's a cat.
No. The internet's called it sexy Meowth.
No, it hasn't. It's just saying.
The internet, not me.
Regardless. Anyway, the next one is a Marowak, which its typing is now Fire and Ghost.
I like this. This is awesome.
Yeah, so it's called that.
It's the dead one.
Yeah, well, I guess.
The only thing I'd question...
It's the dead one from Lavender Town.
The only thing I'd question is they've given it the ability of Lightning Rod.
Yeah.
And that's a bit contradictory if it's not a ground type anymore. Because now it's going to get shocked and it's going to take the damage. Whereas if it was a ground type still, it wouldn't have mattered. So I'm a bit like, is that a good move? Not really.
Lightning Bolt absorbs lightning, doesn't it? So...
Well, no, I believe Lightning Rod is when you're hit with an electric type move, your speed increases. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, speed or attack, one of those. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I think that could work in quite good actually. But the thing is that like Cubone does not receive an Alolan form, so it's just Marowak, I believe.
Well, actually, not that we know yet. So.
I was wrong.
That's true.
I'm sorry. I just looked it up. It's basically electric type moves do no damage, and special attack is raised.
Special attack. Okay, right. Which isn't so great. Well, I suppose if he's a fire type, that's decent because a lot of the fire types one moves are special attack moves.
Yeah. So it's only if it's a ground type that it does nothing. So yeah, I mean
dark type. Most dark type moves are more physical, so you'd be relying more on the fire type moves for that Marowak.
And I guess the final one we got to talk about is Alolan Raichu.
Wait, the best one. No, I'm not even lying. This is actually my favourite so far.
Awful.
No, it isn't.
No, Jack,
it's
awesome.
So cool. Look at it.
Have you ever watched Family Guy?
Yes, I have.
No, there's these. You know the surfers on Family Guy.
They did not. Oh yeah, I saw this tweet that you put.
They literally look exactly like the Raichu.
They do not.
It's awful.
Why?
They do. It's awful.
They do not.
I've already showed on my Twitter page, so go have a look on there.
No, because it's
to move on from that. It has a good ability called Surge Surfer, which is when it's in electric terrain, its speed doubles, so it's super quick.
So when's it going to be in electric terrain? That's what I don't. You got to use one of the moves to get that, don't you?
It's a move. It's a field type.
So you got to waste a move to be able to use it.
Well, it doesn't have to be. If you're in doubles, someone else might have electric terrain, and then your Raichu then gets the boost. It doesn't necessarily have to be your Raichu, but
if it's a Raichu, it should go first anyway because it's quite quick on its own, depending what you find.
But then you got.
I just don't see the point of it personally. I think it's really weird. Like Raichu's not a strong Pokemon in terms of defense, so it's going to take a hit big time. I just don't understand it. I think it's weird. I just don't like the design or anything. Bring back the original Raichu, I say. Yeah.
You can still get the original Raichu. You just have to import him from the Pokemon Bank.
Yeah, it's effort, isn't it?
No, it's not.
It's effort and money.
Dear me. Wow. Moving on.
Right, so we've got a good amount of new Pokemon to go through as well. The first of which, that we've got here at least, is Rockrio, Oricurios, and
Bless
sure. And
It's a cereal, isn't it?
and Ori, I can't even say his name right. God,
Which
sorry.
one? Describe it, and I'll give you
the
proper
bird one, yeah.
Yeah, the bird one. So
The bird
so
one.
this one comes in
What,
four
the woodpecker?
varieties with a different style coming on each island, and with each style of this bird Pokemon, it also comes with its own theme of dancing. For example, the first one is flamingo. It seems, or salsa dancing. Another one is cheerleading. The other is like hula dancing. So it's cool to see these different kinds of Pokemon represented in this way.
They're Bell style, Pom Pom style, Pow style, and Sensu style.
Mm-hmm.
I think the flamenco one is a fire flying. The Pom Pom style is electric flying. The hula style is psychic flying. And the fan dancing one is a ghost flying. Don't think we've seen many ghost flying types. Not that I can remember.
I don't think so.
But
No.
that's an interesting one.
Yeah. It also comes with a unique move called Revelation Dance, I believe. And it matches the type of the Oricorio now in cereal form.
I think it has an effect which whenever you're using dance-like moves,
Yes.
it will copy them.
Yeah, so its ability is Dancer, and it's copy everyone's dance move. So I think this like so I believe this will be like moves like it shows Masquerade using Quiver Dance. I believe it will also use Quiver Dance if the Pokemon uses Quiver Dance. It will also use Sword Stance if the opponent uses Sword Stance. So I think that's how it works.
Oh, yeah. So it could be Sword Dance, but I also think like there's Petal Dance.
Yeah.
Maybe it could it'll do the same for that. I don't know how. I think Sword Dance could be interesting.
Good to know.
Even so, bit of a weird.
The next one is
in terms of Ghost Flying, what's that one? The Ghost Flying is Drifblim and Drifloon as well, which were in the last.
Oh, thank you. So. I was there for one.
Another one is Minior.
Yeah, that's the only one.
It's a rock flying type with the ability Shields Down, and this is another unique ability because when it has taken 50% of damage, as the ability name may imply, its cover falls off, and then there's a core. So it comes in different colours.
This is really interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
It looks freaky.
Looks freaky.
The colours, I think, represents the regions. So I think in different regions you'll get different colours.
It looks off as
whether it means anything different, I don't know. Whether it's just a colour variation. But, the curious thing with this is normally its defence is really high, but as soon as it loses its protective rock around it, its attack goes up.
So that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. So it could be an interesting sort of moves and tactic, but yeah.
Pretty cool. And then the next one we have Gumshoes, not to be confused with a certain detective from a certain game featuring a lawyer. Basically, so with Gumshoes,
or a politician in America.
So it's the yeah, that's right. So it's the evolution of Yungoos, and he looks pretty cool. And he is in fact meant to be designed off of a detective, I believe. That's why it sort of has this cap-like head, I believe. Anyway,
yeah, it's not to be confused with the certain American
twat.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa. We don't talk politics on this podcast.
Good God.
Donald Trump sucks.
Anyway. Moving on, we have Fomantis and Laurentis, which are new. Are they grass and fairy or just grass? I believe just grass.
Not sure.
Yeah, they're both just grass. But at least with Laurentis, there's a new move called Solar Blade. Which, well, you already have a grass-themed blade move, which is Leaf Blade, but it's cool to see another move added. Another new Pokemon is Mudbray, which is the pre-evolution of Mudsdale.
I like this one. It looks pretty cool.
Mudbray looks alright, but
Mudsdale.
Mudsdale looks great. Mudsdale looks great.
It's kind of like a working force sort of thing.
Kind of, yeah. Looks pretty cool, and we'll get into that in a bit, just a tad bit later. Other Pokemon, which was revealed in the next trailer. The first one of which is Wishy-Washy. When I saw this, I immediately... I'm not sure about that name, but whatever. So basically, this Pokemon is very small. Like, it's only 8 inches, but it is known as the Demon of the Sea by residents and Pokemon alike because of its scorning ability. When this is activated, it sends out a signal, an SOS signal of sorts, and thousands of Wishy-Washy gather together to create a new terrifying form that even Gyarados is scared of. And this is its school form, and it does look pretty terrifying.
It looks quite demon-like.
It does look quite demon-like, but it's I think this is a cool Pokemon. The next one is Pyuku. Go on, Jack.
With Wishy-Washy, do you think the person who designed it was watching Finding Nemo that weekend?
Could be.
Could be.
The next one is Pyuku-Maku, which is actually quite fun to say, really.
Pyuku-Maku.
Pyuku-Maku.
It's a sea cucumber.
Yeah, it's a sea cucumber Pokemon,
Yes.
and its unique ability is Ins Out. So, whenever it dies, whenever it faints, rather, it deals back the damage it had before it fainted. So, say if it got wiped out, say it has 50 HP left, and on the next turn it faints. As it dies, it brings out its fist-like inner organs to deal sort of like a last resort attack before it returns to its Pokemon. And the receiving Pokemon will receive 50 HP in damage. So it could be a Titan and sort of like a last FU before it goes. So it seems to be quite a useful Pokemon.
So for if you were in a battle and you were using it, you basically want to just boost its HP as much as possible, and then
I guess so.
Whatever damage it takes, that could be interesting for battling.
Yeah. The last one is Morlul or Morlul. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Morlul, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a mushroom thing. That's it. Like
it's a raspberry mushroom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a grass fairy with ability Illuminates and Infects 4. I can't really think of anything to say about this really. Like it's just a mushroom Pokemon.
There wasn't really a lot about it, was there? To be honest, it was just a brief. Hello, here it is.
And even its like description on the official Pokemon site isn't that interesting. In all honesty. But anyway, moving on to new features. This was shown in the first trailer. There's a new service called Ride Pokemon. So this we saw this in a Japanese trailer a while ago, I think, when the trailer was riding a Stoutland. So basically, with Ride Pokemon, you, as the name implies, you call on the services of different Pokemon like Mudsdale, a Tauros. And it's sort of an extension of the soaring mechanic from Pokemon Oros. So with Mudsdale you'll be able to cross rocky terrain. With Tauros, you'll be able to bash through big rocks. Charizard acts like Latios and Latias from Pokemon Aurus. And Sharpedo is a jet ski, which looks pretty cool. What else do we have here? Stoutland acts sort of like the dowsing machine in previous games.
Stout?
Yeah, Stoutland. Yes, you could ride on Stoutland. I think that was shown in the Japanese trailer. But the main thing I've seen from this is that will this replace HMs? Because now with all these, I think I think with Lapras as well. Lapras is another one, which is fitting.
Well, we're going into more things, but they're replacing quite a few other things. So I think I'm gonna say yes. I reckon it's gonna, because with this game, they're trying quite a different approach. So I reckon HMs, because they've been doing the same thing for how many games now? But
ever since
I reckon this is a new approach to HMs.
Yeah, which I like, because like touching on what you said, like how they're trying new themes. Like I'm going to be writing an article about this, but I really do think Pokemon Sun and Moon is the Zelda Breath of the Wild of the Pokemon games. Because it's good to see this being celebration on the 20th anniversary. We're doing something just utterly new, but seem to be doing it so well. And we're getting into another big change in just a bit.
Sorry, Matt. So the way they've used like X and Y to like bring people back into it, like with using the old starters, then bringing a Mega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire again. You can still play the same characters you enjoyed before, and now let's take all those characters, put this game, and just try something completely different and see if you like it. It might work really well.
It might work, yeah.
But
I'm just really.
It's one of those we have to see.
Yeah. And the other thing as well with Ride Pokemon potentially replacing HMs is that you no longer need to like teach Pokemon potentially weaker moves, because you can't replace. Well, you can't forget HMs normally. You have to go to a certain master in a certain town. They have to delete it for you. So it can be like quite troubling when you have 3 really good moves and 1 HM move. Pokemon has the ability to learn a really good move, and you no longer need that HM, but you can't learn it. So it can. So I think this may help with that, and I think it will just like add a more personal feel, so to speak.
Yeah, it was a bit of a problem though, HMs, because there's so many of them now, and especially from like Gold and Silver, I think there's like 7 or 8 different HMs. It was like it was really annoying, but I think they're going the right way if they are removing HMs, because they're just, most of them are just like an extra move you won't use unless it's to use outside of battle, and it's like, well, pretty pointless really, isn't it? So, especially if you're trying to be serious about that battling actual like, other players and stuff. But it's one of those. Hopefully we get rid of it.
Yeah, so it'd be a good addition. Speaking of possibly replacing series staples, the Island Challenge may be replacing the gyms, which I like to think are quite iconic in the Pokemon series, because they've been the main goal. The Pokemon League has always been the main goal.
From rumours I've been like keeping an eye on, and that apparently in the storyline it's that you might be actually trying to form the Pokemon League.
I've seen
this
as well, yeah. I'm not sure if this was deconfirmed or not, but
I don't think it's confirmed or deconfirmed at the moment. It's possible, but
it's a theory, yeah.
It might
a
happen.
Game theory.
I knew you were going to do that.
But yeah, Sam, go on.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Hopefully, I think you actually go around, like, fight people, recruit them.
I wouldn't mind.
Like, there might be certain people that actually might trigger, like, oh, I'm looking to...
Triggered.
I think...
like, be a leader, but
I think
it'd be interesting to see what they do.
At the very least, that seems like a good post-game, because with the Island Challenge, from what the Pokemon site has said, is that this is what Pokemon trainers go through to just like grow as Pokemon trainers. Hold on, I'll get out the specific thing right here. But basically, it's just sort of like a cultural thing. It's like every young person has to go through it to learn what it is like to be a Pokemon trainer, and that kind of stuff. Let me see, Alola region. But yeah, hold on. What is that? Right.
That is a Jack.
Right, so the rights of the island.
What? Sorry,
changed.
that might be me.
So this is coming from the Pokemon official site. So one aspect of the unique culture that has developed in the Alola region is the Island Challenge, an adventurous ride that involves travelling through each of the 4 islands. This event helps young people grow into fine Pokemon trainers. As the main character of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, you yourself are destined to attempt this Island Challenge. So, and basically what will happen, this is the order that happens. So first of all, we have the Island Challenge trials. So these are sort of like gym battles, but not really, because they're not necessarily down to just battling. They may have to finding different ingredients. I believe that is for one of the trials. But I think you may be battling them because the trial leaders have their own speciality. So for the first one, so we have Mallow. Her speciality is the grass type. Then we have Lana, who specializes with water type Pokemon. You have Sophocles. His speciality is electric type, and then finally we have Kyle. I'm sorry, it's spelled Kiawe. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But anyway, his preference is fire type Pokemon. So basically, you meet those trial captains, and they have been picked. So those people, the trial captains, they had completed the Island trial a good couple of years ago. Only a couple of years ago, I mean. So they're quite young. I believe that's how it works. Yeah. And then, at the end of each trial, a mighty Pokemon known as Totem Pokemon will be rating. The one shown in the trailer, or the ones rather, was a Gumshoes and a Laurentis, I believe. They come at the end of the trial, and they are much larger than the typical Pokemon of the same species. And apparently, it could call for help. Yeah, so it could call for help as well, I believe. Yeah. So when Totem Pokemon battle, they summon ally Pokemon to join them. With the support of these allies, the Totem Pokemon become even more powerful. It seems that Pokemon other than Totem Pokemon sometimes call on allies to aid them. So it's quite interesting because this may be what replaces the gym leaders as well, maybe. Who knows? So it should be interesting to see how this all works out. But at the very end, the final trial is the grand trial. So these are more like gym battles where you face the Kahuna who leads that island, and the first one shown off is Hala, which has been seen since the very first trailer. He's the one that gives you the starter Pokemon to choose between. He's the one, the yellow Hawaiian shirt. Once you clear that, you are free to move on to the next island and progress with the game. So I think this is a very interesting way on how your journey is playing out. So what do you guys make of the island trials as a whole then?
I think it's a nice breath of fresh air from what we. It's the same thing. You go out, you fight the Pokemon gyms, and then you do the Pokemon League, and it's like, oh god, it just got to be a bit of a repetition. Whereas this is something totally different and new. I hope
don't
it
think
goes
there's going to
well.
be a lot of difference, personally. I think it'll probably end up being the same sort of way, but I think adding 2 versus 1 battles and things like that maybe like would shake up a little bit, but I think in the long term, I don't think it's going to be a lot different.
But, well, again, you're just adding to the idea that like they are going for something very new with Sun and Moon. And so I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be something really special. And a new thing, which and it seems they are finally showing off what that white bracelet on your arm is for. It is for a new mechanic called Z moves. These are very powerful attacks, and for it you need to have a special stone similar to Mega Stones, and there are 18 stones, 1 for each type of move. And you also need a Pokemon that knows at least 1 move of the same type. So when used, like Mega Evolution, you can only use it once per battle, but it is an incredibly powerful move. So you can really do some damage, possibly turn the tide of the battle. The ones shown off are Gigavolt Havoc for the electric type, Bloom Doom for grass type, let me just see here, Inferno Overdrive and Hydro Vortex for fire type and water type respectively. So I hope this doesn't replace Mega Evolution, because I really like that concept of getting new powerful forms of previous Pokemon. So I really hope Mega Evolution hasn't gone, and I think it has become a staple in Pokemon games. Because you've seen that in like...
See what happens.
Yeah, because you've seen that in a lot of spin-off games since X and Y. You've seen it in Pokken, you've seen it in Super Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Shuffle...
Sadly, it's nothing confirmed, but we'll have to wait and see. It'd be silly to introduce something like that and talk about evolution and changing completely, and then just blow it off like it's nothing.
Yeah,
that'd be a bit silly, really, to the whole franchise.
The thing we've got to remember now is because there is so many Pokemon, that means they've got to make a model for every single one. So if they've got to add all the Mega Evolutions as well, that's another 30, 40, maybe 50 plus now of extra Mega Evolutions. They've got to remodel and redesign, and especially if you want to do lower form ones as well. If there are any F Pokemon that could be in that list, I don't know, but it's just a lot of time and effort that will have to be put into the game again to try and make it run smoothly. So as much as I think I'd like to see it more Mega Evolutions and they've actually put more effort into making some more, because some of them have been really good design wise. I wouldn't mind if they focus on other Pokemon now and maybe bring it back to the next generation or the next game. It's not a problem for me. But.
Right. And then our final... Well, actually, speaking on Z moves, have you seen that they're releasing like this toy that actually connects to the games, and whenever you use a Z move, it actually...
Don't.
the special voice actually resonates.
If they're gonna try and make us dance like idiots, like Yoko Watch, no.
Oh no, no thanks, no thanks.
I would rather just push a button on the game than dance.
Yes, you have to do a dance, then press the button to do it.
No,
Sam,
not happening.
So
I would rather forgo using a super powerful move and look like an idiot.
Anyway, the final bit is the next evil team has finally been revealed, and it's Team Skull. The grunts have been revealed, and they look pretty stylish, and the theme as well. The theme for the team looks pretty cool as well. One of the admins, Plumeria, has also been revealed, and she acts as Team Skull's big sister, let's say. And Guzma, who I think has to be my favourite antagonist in Pokemon game, possibly. He is the big boss of Team Skull, and he seems to have a bit of beef with Professor Kukui, because neither of them could become trial captains, or at least that's what the text implies. So it's very interesting to see Guzma's side of the story here, and we may. But as for the mission, they're really just causing havoc for the sake of causing havoc. So it's nice to see this kind of team that just wants to create chaos. So it's kind of cool to see that kind of side to it.
Yeah.
Sounds like Team Rocket all over again.
And one of the other millions of teams. But yeah. Okay. That'll do.
Anyway, but yeah, I like the style. I like the just the theme of Team Skull. Both their own theme music and just their design.
Like all the other teams in every other Pokemon game.
Oh dear.
Anyway, so I believe with that wraps it up for the news section. Unless we have that took a lot of time. We may have to cut the discussion.
Yeah.
We spent way too long on that. Way too long. Alright. But we may be doing discussion. We'll see how time goes. Or we may save it for another time. Who knows? But let's. Well, actually, should we just do quick NX stuff here, or no?
Yeah, go on. We'll add a little bit of quick.
So yeah, so
NX,
this is a mini discussion now. So no separate section, sadly. So one source. Well, Eurogamer first of all. This seems to be the most reliable rumor. Eurogamer has stated that multiple sources have indicated that the NX will indeed be a portable home console. So it's tying into the idea that this will be a hybrid console that you could plug into a main power station at home, play it like a home console. But then you could also take it on the go. And recent patents have shown that there may be detachable controllers for the controller as well. So basically, this is a point-by-point summary of Eurogame's claims that are based on a number of sources. As always, the rumors take it with a pinch of salt, but this isn't meant to be debunked right away. So basically, it is primarily a high-powered handheld console with its own display, with the key twist that the screen is bookended by two controller sections on either side, which can be attached or detached as required. At home, you could connect the portable part to a base station that displays the system on the TV. The dual approach is to ensure that all games are fully functional on the go or at home. It will be apparently using NVIDIA Tegra technology, with the expected tech in use considered beyond the abilities of PS3 and Xbox 360, but not of that of the PS4 and Xbox One. I believe it will be the X1 chip. That was the one that was rumored to be it. But if they opt for the upcoming X2, they could get closer to the power of PS4 and Xbox One. So we'll wait and see to what it will be in terms of graphical power, but I'm hoping for something. Well, it'll definitely be more powerful than the Wii U at least. As previous rumors have suggested, the NX will use cartridges. They may be limited to 32GB in size, although downloads can get around that. There are no plans for backward compatibility because there is far more different. The architecture of the system is far different. There will be a new operating system, and the system is likely to be revealed in September, with a core marketing pitch to keep things simple and emphasize gaming on the go. So that's quite a handful there. So what do you guys make of that?
All of it?
Blooming heck. Throwing a lot of me at
Well,
once.
I like the idea of a hybrid console altogether. I think it's a good idea. I've seen a lot of things floating on Twitter and Facebook the last couple of days about the detachable controllers from the system. There's one idea that the actual controllers will be different in design that you attach them to. So, for instance, you could get a GameCube-styled one for playing Smash Bros. Or you could get other ones dedicated to other games. I think in one of the designs there was like a Yokai Watch designed controller.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Which you could plug in and spin as a spinner or things like that. It was very strange, but an interesting concept that they could actually design specific controllers to add on as the actual part of the game or the actual game itself, I suppose, in a way. But that could be quite expensive in the long run.
It could be.
Yeah,
expensive.
I think it's an interesting thing. But it's nothing that Nintendo hasn't done before with their hardware in terms of
Actually,
how much of the hardware they bring out for the Wii and the Wii U, for instance. There's quite a lot about. But as just a sort of a thought, it was really interesting idea, and I think if you could really get a specific controller as the actual attachment every time, it doesn't have to be every single time, but it's a very interesting concept. And I think, especially with the idea of having multiplayer games on one console with these two detachable controllers, like we like remote style, it could work. It could work, maybe. But then there's been other designs I've seen with like the screen sort of extending out like the DS.
oh, okay.
And I just don't see that happen as much. I think it would be too heavy for the console to have if it would. I don't know what sort of size you reckon it would be. Will it be the same sort of size as like a Wii U pad, for instance? Or is that too big or too small?
I think that's be a tad bit too big for gaming on the go. I'd say possibly something like the 3DS size.
But then would that be too small for the
Good
main
point.
games then? That's
Good point.
that's one of the main things they're going to get stuck with.
Well,
And then if they want to keep the same sort of weight as well as like the Wii U pads, they're going to have even more problems there because like in terms of battery size and things.
That's true.
It's a very strange concept, but it's interesting but strange. I don't know how well it would actually work in a market at the moment where people seem to be more focused on going to the VR consoles or more heavyweight like consoles or PCs. It's very strange, very strange. But yeah, anything else to add, Sam? Or?
No, you've kind of hit mostly everything I've said on the head, really. The only thing I was thinking of is if this were a hybrid console, are they? My thought is with NX is, are they trying to move away from two separate consoles, like a handheld and a home console, and really just integrating it into this one main console?
I think
so they can cover a broader perspective of people.
Yeah, I think
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that'd be the best though, because like home console, I think they're getting dominated by PS4 and Xbox One. I really don't think another one can change that. But they are hitting it in the handheld market. So
Yeah,
I really think
a
a handheld, but having one that could be taken on the go as well as playing on the home, something really unique, something to get the market's attention. And I think it's a lot that companies can get behind. And it's one
that's a lot to ask, though. It's like,
true.
If you can you really see Zelda being on this portable console, which you can take out wherever you want to?
Well, see, I think the technology,
And then-
like, even though it's well, I think the technology, the X1 chip, the X1 Tegra chip or whatever, is going to be more powerful than the Wii U. So Who knows? We just have to wait and see. But I think it
But
when
then
connected to a
if
TV,
that
it'll be more powerful.
if that uses more power, you'll need a bigger battery
That's true.
pack
Yeah.
in your controller straight away.
Mm.
So it's lots of really weird things they've got to get over to see. I mean, that is going to be the big stumbling block. I think they've done well with the 3DS in terms of how much power they can use in that console, and the battery, to be fair, on the DS is pretty decent. You can get a good few hours out of that.
Mm.
But on the Wii U pads, it's what, 2 hours at most if you're lucky. Did you say that?
About that, yeah.
So if you're going to have the same problem if this next console, if you take it out anyway, you've only got 2 hours on it, then not a lot of people will be invested in it. Myself, I don't think. But it really depends how to use it properly. I think that's the one.
I have to wait.
It's going to be a difficult idea. I can understand them why they want to do it, because they're trying to merge those two separate consoles into one, as it'll be less cost in hardware and software for straight away, and they could probably sell more units from that. It's a really difficult market to try and convince. But I'm a little bit skeptical. Best way I could sort of describe it. It's one of those we still have to wait.
We just have to wait and see. That's all there is to it, really.
Pretty much.
Anyway,
the main problem though is if it isn't a hybrid console now, like it's, because the way it's been hyped is that everyone knows what it is already, and nothing's been confirmed yet. So it's one of those.
Yeah, but I think, or at least I'm hoping that the games they will have within its first year will be good. And judging by NZV's sources, we could be seeing a new Mario, a new Zelda, and a new Pokemon game developed by Game Freak within the first 6 months of launch. So the Zelda game, we already knew about, being Breath of the Wild. Mario, we have heard a good amount of, being a new 3D Mario game by Miyamoto. But the new Pokemon game is apparently going to be developed by Game Freak, which is slightly contradictory, because right now they are hard at work on Pokemon Sun and Moon. So the popular theory I have seen going around so far is that there will be a port of Sun and Moon coming to the NX.
No, I don't see it. I don't know why, but I just don't see it happening. It's just if they can get this portable console sorted, then yeah, all for it. But I don't know. It's a difficult one. It's a good thinking point though. I mean, if you can do like Pokemon games do, like you can go and play it out with your friends whenever you want to, then come back and just grind when at home on your TV.
Oh, good point.
It's like, the best way I could sort of describe it is like when you're playing your old Game Boy games and like Game Boy Color games and things. You could put them on the SNES or the GameCube players and play them through that. And it's like you've been playing all day with them, and you can come back to those and then just sit at home, relax, do your thing, and then go out again the next day with your friends again. There's nothing to say you can't do that already. That's the problem. I just don't see why you need to have them all in one thing. I'm really stuck between this one. I don't know what I want from it.
Well, the thing that Nintendo Dad said, following on from that Pokemon game, is that we could be seeing the third game in this generation, sort of like Yellow to the first generation, Crystal to second generation, Emerald, Platinum, and so on and so forth.
Zelda, let's see.
Zelda's a good one, yeah. That's a good shout. Although, well, that's actually a good idea, finally getting Zed, but it slightly feels redundant with Sun and Moon being out, because new generation, you kind of want to be pushing the new generation, wouldn't you? Whereas I think if we have said...
It's still the same generation, really, though, isn't it?
Not really.
It's still the same. The last 3 games have all been using the same engine and stuff.
I think...
Everyone says...
Well, Sun and Moon, I think, is a slightly different engine, especially in the overworld. Because you don't no longer have that chibified vision.
Yeah,
and the battles as well. You can now see trainers on both sides. There's no weird circle underneath the Pokemon. They have different backgrounds. So it seems to be on a different engine than past games. We could be seeing said. I think that's a good shout, but the only thing I
think if they designed a 3D one for the NX of Z, I think it's more appealing to other people who pick it up.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. But apparently we also have third-party support from Sega, Square Enix, Ubisoft, Activision, and Warner Brothers. And this is promising, and there has been backed up evidence of this, because with Sega, it's been confirmed that Project Sonic 2017 will be coming to Nintendo NX as well as Xbox One and PS4. So it shows that the NX is on somewhat terms with PS4 and Xbox One. Just Dance 2017 is getting represented by Ubisoft, and a representative from Ubisoft, I don't know if it is the CEO or not, but he said that they are looking forward to working with Nintendo for the NX. They think they have something really special on their hands with the console. And with Square Enix, there is Dragon Quest X, which was recently reconfirmed to be coming to the system, and the fact that Cloud is in Smash Brothers. So we could be seeing Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, or other games coming to the system as well. As for Activision and Warner Brothers, they haven't really said anything yet, I believe. But from a third-party standard, it may be looking good. And plus, following on from the new Inazuma 11 game, they never specified what system it will be coming to. And even with the extra peripheral, which is used to train up your team outside of the game, they never specified which game device it connects to. So it may be coming to Nintendo NX. So it seems to be having a diverse and good range of games within its first year. So I believe with that wraps up for this section, so let's move on to what have we been playing. So this is the what have we been playing section. As usual, we just talk about what we have been playing. So who would like to go first?
It's the odd awkward silence.
Alright, I think... Yeah, I'd like to start, if that's alright.
Go for it.
You can go.
So, over in my holiday in the good country of Ireland, and pretty much all I've been playing since the last time. Well, I did start a bit on Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations, because I finally finished the second game, Justice for All. So I have started Trials and Tribulations, but I probably won't get too much into that for a good while, or at least too much into playing it. But the big one that I've been playing for the past couple of weeks is Fire Emblem Fates. I've finally gone back into it. Although I was never out of it, I've just finally gone back to playing it. And this time I started Fire Emblem Fates Conquest, which is the path that I didn't do. You're now on the side of Nor, and I'm not sure if I prefer this or not. Like, I just treat the whole thing as one experience, and that's how I'm going to review it. So I'm going to review all 3 paths together, because I would probably treat it as one whole experience. But with Conquest, I'm liking the story in that it's a bit more than conquering the other kingdom in the name of peace and to avenge your mother's death. By going on the side of Nor, you're trying to turn Nor into a kingdom of peace from the inside. So you're secretly defying your father from the inside. So even though you obey his orders of like trying to quiet down this rebellion or stuff like that, at the end you always try to do your own thing and try to do it for the good. But you still see parts where you can't help it because people that are very loyal to the king get in your way and make things a terrible place. But I like all the units. I think they're just as charismatic and energetic and varied as the roster in Birthright. You do get some in both versions. For example, you get K's both versions, who's a favourite of mine. He's a really cool ninja. You get Izana, who's a really casual Duke. I like him a lot as well. You get Felicia
Duke.
and you get Felicia and who's the other? Jacob. You get those two in both versions as well. They serve as your retainers, and you also get Azura, who is one of the primary main characters of the game. Very important to the story. Although I feel like Birthright explored Azura's character and what she was about a bit more. But I believe Revelation, which I will play after Conquest, will delve into more of the story. But with Conquest, the main thing that I am liking about it is how varied the maps are. So in Birthright, the mission was always either defeat the boss or root the enemy, which means defeat all the enemies. So it's either one or the other for the most part. But in Conquest, you do get a bit of a different thing. For example, one mission that I had a bit of trouble with and took me a good amount of times to complete, you have to defend an area for about 11 turns from invading enemies, and they will not, and they are not dumb. They're not dumb at all. So if you mistakenly place one of your units in the wrong place, they could just slip by and immediately go into the town, and that's game over. And another one that appears just a tad bit later on in the game.
That's very, very good to know.
Yeah. But another one that appeared relatively later on in the game. This map's unique mechanic is the wind. So the wind comes in certain columns and either blows you up or down 5 spaces every turn. So you will not for the most part, you will not have your army all together. So it creates this extra strategy of who's gonna attack in the place where they could get affected by the wind and therefore get moved by the wind, or do I stay out of the wind so my army can all stay together still. So with Conquest, it's far more varied and it's far more difficult as well. I'm at chapter 26, so towards the end.
How many chapters are there?
28 if you include the epilogue, which sort of acts as a chapter in itself.
That's a lot of story to go through.
28,
28
and I believe Revelation is shorter, about like 21 or something. But yeah, so Conquest is really good, but it's definitely I think it's definitely better to be played. Definitely better to be played after Birthright because it is far harder. It demands a better knowledge and better tactics than in Birthright. But if you are a fan of previous Fire Emblem games, or have played them a lot rather, then Fire Emblem Fates Conquest may be the one that you want to play first. But I do recommend playing both.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's one game, and I'm quickly gonna talk about one game because I feared that Jack may throw me out of the chat if I
Yeah.
talk too much Fire Emblem.
Yeah. I will.
So this was only that I got on Saturday, I believe, when I was in Ireland. It just only cost me €2. It was pre-owned game, to be fair, but only €2. I got Rhythm Paradise for the DS, so
Ooh.
I got Beat the Beat Rhythm Paradise for the Wii a good while back, and I really enjoyed that. Now I've got the one for the DS, and I have to say it's filled with as much charm and fun as the one on the Wii, even though the DS one came beforehand. It's really good. It mainly revolves around flicking, so you're either tapping the screen or you're flicking. But I also like the fact that you hold the DS sort of like you're doing brain training, where you hold it in the side. So remember how have you played brain training before?
I played Big Brain Academy.
Oh,
If that's what it's called.
well, brain training, you hold a DS in your palm on its side, so the screens are vertical.
I've played it.
Yeah. So with him having plays like that, and it's kind of comfortable playing it like that. To be fair.
Sounds like book reading mode.
It kind of is. You do hold it like a book.
Sort of.
Yeah. That's a good way of looking at it. But I think this wasn't available in the Wii version. I'm not too sure. But if you are having a good amount of trouble with a stage, with a certain minigame, you could choose to skip it. Which is incredibly helpful, because it can get really frustrating when you're trying your hardest at a certain stage, but you just can't do it. So if you face that trouble in the Wii version, you have to do it in order to progress with the game. So that may turn some people away from the rest of the game, which is really good. But in this one, you can just choose to skip it. So it is a bit lazy, but you could just come back to it in your own will. At your own will, rather. And the other thing as well is that, like, I think they fixed this problem with Megamix as well. But how it determines if you get a superb rank, an okay rank, or a try again rank, it's kind of confusing because it never really tells you specifically how well you did in that thing. It just gives you like a little comment at the end. So yeah, that's all there is to what I've been playing. Not much. I have been playing Pokemon Go. I've got a decent amount.
What level are you?
I'm only level 13, so not great.
Yeah, that's alright. I'm level 18.
Anyway,
I'm level 22.
who wants to go next then?
Okay.
Sam does.
I just said I'll go next.
Hey.
So for my channel, I've been doing Super Mario World and Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, I've seen that. So how those coming along?
Ooh.
Quite well. Super Mario World, like, I know pretty well, so I can remember pretty much where most of the secrets and bits are. There's still a few bits that surprise me, or I've forgotten, or just getting used to the controls and certain bits. But meh, it's fine. And Bayonetta 2, I've just done recordings for this week, and I will have a bit of a rage. There's parts in it where you have to go do these little sort of like tasks, and you get like rewards for it. And there's one that's so horrible. It's like you can't. It's like you can't touch the floor while you're fighting these angels. And I just can't do it because it's just driving me mental. I just had to go, nope, not doing it anymore. Nope, had enough. So yeah, I will have a bit of a rage fest at that point. Other than that, I'm doing pretty well. Finding most of the stuff. Bayonetta 2 is a brilliant game. It's so much fun, and it's so witty, and it just constantly keeps you on your feet, ready for the next bit.
I do need to go back to that.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's very good. I played the Metroid Blast Ball. I gave it a go.
I played this. I played a whole 2 minutes of this.
I played for about 20 minutes. I'm not.
It's not great, is it?
It's not fantastic, but
not
it's
really.
It's not bad, but it's just not great enough to keep me interested.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
if I played with other people, then fine. Yeah, you probably like start getting build up a bit of competition and stuff. But other than that, I was just like,
Neil keeps trying to get me to play it, and I'm just like, I don't want to.
Neil,
what I don't understand with this game is they brought it out for free on the same week that Monster Hunter Generations is out.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to go into. I've been playing so much Monster Hunter. On my own mainly. I will play with more people. I'm going to hopefully go to the Basingstoke Street Pass Basingstoke event. Hopefully play with more people. I mean, even me and Jack had a game, but Jack's DS is the original 3DS.
Oh, okay.
And
see, I've had no problems. I've had no problems playing it with anyone else. It was just you.
It was just that one day then.
It was probably just where we were, but yeah.
But it's good fun. I really enjoy it. It's Monster Hunter. I'm like going after the sets of like I've got to have this set because like you get the bonus effects of the armor, and then you'll find like type advantages and things. Plus, I really like how they do the upgrading of the weapons and stuff. Like you can branch off into different paths and things. I managed to get like a really good longsword, which I love to bits. I think it's called Hidden Saber.
Okay.
I think, Jack, you've seen that one.
Yeah.
But they brought in old monsters, new monsters. I could go on for ages. I love Monster Hunter. So yeah, I've been playing that so much. And then Pokemon Go. I mean, I don't know how everyone else feels. Does it feel like it's getting slightly monotonous?
It kind of is.
Or is it just me? It's like...
yes and no. I know what you're trying to say. But,
yeah, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I like Pokemon Go. I just feel now that we kind of know everything and stuff like that, it's like the hype is kind of died off a little bit.
Like, I just saw today that it's got 5 world records, like, mainly for being just one of the best apps of all time.
Yeah, it's like most generated profit.
They do need to be adding those features soon. For example, the trading. I could care less about the battling, to be fair. It's not that fun. I tried it at gyms, and I really couldn't be asked to get gyms anymore. It's just not fun.
I think it just takes too long to battle and actually get into gym. And when you actually do open up a gym, someone else takes it off you. It's just rather frustrating.
They need to improve the tracking thing. It's gotten worse. Yeah. It's driving me mad.
Well, I think that apparently they're trying something.
I don't mind that.
Apparently they're trying something new in that. I think there's only one area so far, but apparently what it is that like.
They've been tested.
It shows
in San Francisco,
which Pokestop the Pokemon appears at.
I did see that.
That's what it is. But yeah, like, and as well, like, I just want more Pokemon because like Gen 1 is great. Like, I've only caught like about 50 to 60, so that's not even half. But it's like I'm just getting very tired seeing all these Rattatas and Pidgeys and Weedles.
Yeah, the spawns are not fantastic.
It's just like, why?
Have you ever played any Pokemon games ever? it happens in every game. So.
I know, but when you can't go out everywhere, and like you got to think of people who can't travel as far, and things like that. It's like to them, they're going to have a problem, and I just think like they're not thinking of the bigger community. it does
think so.
irritate me a little bit, but
Well, I think
Eh.
like I do like the aspect of like they have to get out to play. I do like that, and I don't want that to change. But they do need to be adding stuff to
I
make
love
it
it.
like a more like but just a better experience overall.
I-
Like,
I would still say to people, make sure you go out with other people.
Yeah. I think
And make sure that you're safe and that you're paying attention and being aware, and be a bit, be courteous and considerate of other people around you as well who don't play it.
mm,
Because if you bump into them or if you knock them, or they're going to be really angry at you. I mean, I'll say I had a bit of an ass like take the mick out of me because I was playing it, and it's like you're taking the mick out of someone who's having some fun, not causing anybody any other problems, but you've got to be a jerk just because you don't understand it. So yeah, that's why I
get a lot of
say
that.
try and go out with friends, because then that way if you're on your own, they can't. If you're with friends, they can't pick on you because you're a group of people. Whereas if you're on your own, you're gonna sadly meet people like that. But other than that, that's my only sort of little thing. But yeah,
Oh.
that's fine. I just ignored him personally. I was just like, eh. Jack, what have you been playing?
Well, I'm still playing Pokemon Go, and so far I have done 218 kilometers on the game. So
I think I hit
yeah,
100.
yeah. So
That's pretty
it's
good.
not like I'm addicted or anything, but yeah.
Good.
I think the fact that I keep running out of Pokeballs is kind of annoying, but I think that's the whole point of it. Like, you've got to go out and go to these Pokestops and collect
Yeah.
mm.
Buy some.
or buy some. But I'm not going to do that. So yeah, but I'm still enjoying really enjoying it quite a lot. There's lots
Oh.
of people I'm still chatting to.
I have a handy little tip for people. If you are a Google user and use Android, there is an app called where is it? It is called where is it now? It's called Google Opinion Rewards. All you have to do is answer little surveys about if you've been to particular shops and things like that, and they give you money towards your account, and you can save that up. And I've almost got enough to probably buy like 500 Pokemon coins, so you can spend that in game. You're not
okay.
actually really spending any money. So
That's
just a handy
shout.
little tip for
It's
people.
quite handy.
Yeah, I've got about £3.80 something on this account, so
Ooh.
it's just like, oh, I could buy some stuff, and it won't actually cost me anything.
That's fair enough.
Have you bought anything on it so far, Sam? Just out of curiosity.
No, not with my money,
Cool.
but with the money I'm getting from these surveys, I'll be able to buy stuff without actually costing me anything.
I was in
Because
an,
this is sorry, Matt, go on.
yeah, I was just about to say, like, when I did go out for a big walk around the village, there was an area where there was a Bulbasaur. I wasn't able to catch it because I was out of Pokeballs, so I had to get like about 100. So that's the only time I bought Pokecoins in game. But aside from that, I haven't really bought it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say on that matter, really.
Alright, that's cool. I just think that there's still the social aspect of people I've met playing it or talking on Facebook about it, and I'm finding out spots where I can find certain Pokemon. I mean, I'm quite lucky at the moment because where I'm working in Eastleigh, we found the guy next to me at work also is a big Pokemon player, and he's loving the app. But he lives local in Eastleigh, and he's found a spot for Growlithes and Charmanders. So every lunch break, we're going to these two areas trying to find these Charmanders and Growlithes, and it's working well so far. So when this trading comes in, it'd be very useful because I can trade some more Growlithes and Arcanines to people. But until they sort that out, I don't know what's going to happen. I've heard little rumours of they're on about putting the next generation by next summer. So it could be a bit of a long wait to the next load of Pokemon. But
Nah,
you've also got you've also got to think that they've still got to put in Ditto, all the legendary birds, Mewtwo,
That's like 5
Mew.
Pokemon.
You know,
that shouldn't take
yeah,
long.
but they've got to do special events for them, haven't they? So you could do them
Well,
one a
yeah.
month, couldn't they? Or whatever, leading up to it. So
I really hope it doesn't take that long. Like, I might have deleted the app by then. Like, that's way too long of a wait just for another 100 Pokemon. Well, that is a lot, to be fair, but
well, we'll have to wait and see.
I believe,
we'll have to wait and see.
like, even though this can go on for, like, this momentum can go on for a good while, I believe it will fizzle out eventually. Because as a mobile game, they always do. So
Yeah.
it will fizzle out eventually. So I think it's absolutely niantic to strike while the iron is hot, get all these new features up and out. So when they've completely finished it, because at a conference, I believe at San Diego Comic Con, they only said that they were only 10% complete with the game. So they need to get it fully complete, and when they do, it may.
I don't think they're in any real rush for it. To be honest. I think they can sort of release it slowly
I think they could
over
do
the next
that,
few
yeah,
months and
yeah.
years.
Well, months, not
Expand
years.
it out to as far as possible. Yeah, years. They're planning on years for this game.
Oh yeah, fair enough. But like to get
What
it
they said,
to
so-
what they wanted it to be, to that 100% that they wanted at the conference, they need to be like a year max, I'd say.
But why should they rush out
Because like,
everything straight away when they could spread it out over a long
well,
period?
because like the
and
thing
make more
is,
money out of
like
it?
it's not like Splatoon. Splatoon was running out over months, and even in less than a year, they stopped it. By that point, it's a full game. You've got a good amount of maps, a lot of weapons, a lot of gear, a good variety of modes, or rather like a distinct set of modes. So I'd say it's a full game. But the thing is that like people have already bought that stuff, and once they've bought it, they either sell it within like about eventually, or they just keep it. But with Pokemon Go, it's a free app. Like people only have to try it one day, so they either delete it or they keep it. But they delete it when they see fit. Like it's very, I don't know how to explain it, but with mobile gaming, like nothing really sticks, same way as games do. If you know what I mean. Like it takes.
I think that's the thing though. But once they say, "Look, we've got the new update with new games on it," they'll just come back and re-download it again. I think you are right that people will start dropping off.
I guess so.
Once there's less interest in what there is available at the moment, people dropping off. But
yeah, and if they wait, like, oh, go on.
Game really well out of it. It was slow and processing correctly. But yeah.
Anyway, I think we've talked a bit too
anyway,
much about Pokemon.
I should go for some other games, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, what other games I've been playing? Right, Monster Hunter Generations. I've been playing a lot of that as well. Trying putting some time in. Where we had the Monster line on last week, I was sort of curious because a lot of the weapons they were talking about were like all direct weapons they were using, and like swords and like the lances and the axe, the switchblade axe thing as well. So I've been trying with the indirect weapons. So I've been using the bows, the guns, and like the light bow guns as well.
Okay.
And I've actually really enjoyed playing with them so far. This game's main difference between the last game is they've added different styles and abilities in with this game. And one of the abilities you can use as a gunner is called aerial ability, where you can jump into the monster, jump off of him, then jump in the air. And from there, you can, with the guns weapons like arrows and bows and arrows and stuff, you can shoot in mid-air at the monsters while you're falling down again. And it works really well. It's really impressive that they've been able to put that into the game, especially when you're fighting with other people, because you can jump over other people and then fight the monsters as well. It's working really well, and I've been really getting into using all of those little indirect weapons in the game. I haven't really got that far in terms of the actual main arenas or anything. I've played quite a lot at the last Street Pass Reading event to last Saturday. Really good. I played lots of games with James and Beth, and yeah, it was really cool. So hopefully there'll be more in the future from that. But other games I've been playing. 2 minutes of Blast Ball, just not that bothered about it. Neil just keeps badgering like you should play it. I just got no reason to.
There's an easy word. There's an easy answer to that. You just go. No.
Monster Hunters. Yeah. No. Playing that. I've been playing Mario Kart 8 quite a lot because they're still doing the league matches every Tuesday night. I played last night and I come first in one Grand Prix and second in the other. So I was like, that's the best I've probably done in the last 16 to 18 times I've been playing it.
Nice.
In the last few months. So yeah, really good. Very happy with that. I'm going to carry on playing that, and I hope everyone else comes in and joins in as well. MK UK on Facebook and Twitter. Have a look. Other than that, me and Sam had a little mini event. We're sort of joined at Street Pass Southampton with Cyberjam Gaming.
Okay.
And we took a few consoles there. Yeah, a few consoles there, and we played a few bits and pieces. I got back into playing a bit of Mario Maker.
Yeah.
I was there with Becky, and she's not really played much of Mario Maker, and she was quite curious about it. So, because it was a Pokemon event they ran, I tried to use the what do you call them? The actual the mushrooms in there that you use for the amiibos.
The costume ones.
The costume ones. That's it. I tried to use all of those, but all the ones which were Pokemon to make a level. And then we got Becky to play it, and she weren't really that great at it. But you know, she still gave it a go, and she managed to make a few levels for her boyfriend to play, and it was really good fun. It was a really good event. We played a lot of Mario Maker. We also played a bit of Rumbo. About I think 4 of us played Rumbo.
Yeah,
maybe 5.
4 of us. Yeah.
So that was kind of 4 of us, which was good. I don't think I played much multiplayer other than online. So hopefully try and get that out at a few more events. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much covered what I've been playing. I mean, I've played Pokemon Picross as well, which is I've got to the final area finally. So I just need to complete all those.
When you say the final area, you mean Area 30?
Yeah, I do. Area 30.
I finished that quite a while back. I was glad to finish it. That's all I say.
I know. I had a bit of a break from it because I was getting obsessed with squares and numbers and kept having dreams and waking up thinking about squares and numbers. So I thought, it's pretty best not to play that for a while. But I've gone back because I'm determined to finish it, and it's hopefully very close to be complete. So hopefully by next podcast we should be done with that.
Wait.
So I'm curious. Is there anything you're picking up in the next couple of weeks that you haven't got already? You'll be playing.
I'm not sure. Like, I may.
What are you thinking about Federation Force?
Well, actually,
Meh.
well, we're recording this on 17th of August. I swear I've said that already, but hold on. For some reason,
it's been delayed to September and that. So.
I don't think it's been. Well, technically it has been delayed because I think it was promised to come out in summer, but it's coming out this Friday, 19th of August, over in the US. In a way, I haven't said like anything about it, which is just like, why? You have a new game coming out this week. Like, nobody likes it, but may as well push for it. Apparently critics are quite liking it. The critics are saying that's actually quite decent, but like sadly, the internet is just like, oh, it's not a proper Metroid game. Ugh.
In that exact voice.
Like I may pick up the Metro Prime trilogy. I've been thinking about getting that for a while, but I do need to make some space in my Wii U.
Have you got a Wii remote and nunchucks?
Yes. So is that the best
Because you'll
way
need
to
it for
play
that
it?
game. You need it for that game.
Oh, can't I just use the gamepad?
No, you can't use the gamepad.
Can't you? Oh.
No.
I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's worth it. It's Metro Prime is a really good series, but it's one of those you don't really need to play too much Metroid to enjoy Prime as well.
Yeah.
I think I never played any Metroid.
I think that's a given
Prime,
because
so.
it's like this is the first time like Metro Prime has been in 3D, isn't it? So. But yeah, so like Federation Force, I think it will do somewhat decent with critics. Somewhat decent. Like, not overly great, but I
needs
think,
to.
Yeah, but I think it could be alright. But sales-wise, I don't think so. I think in a way I've just given up next to all hope of trying to market this game. I really think that. Which is a bit sad, but who knows? But it is supposed to come out, I think, 2nd of September over here? I'm not sure. Sometime in September. Well, Dragon Quest 7, Fragments of Forgotten Past, that's September 16th over here. And then we've got Mario Party Star Rush and Paper Mario Color Splash. Actually, did you see the new trailer? The Rescue Fee sort of thing?
No.
So it was just this, like,
No.
just showed off this new team game of differently coloured toads. And it was basically just a new trailer for Color Splash. And it looked alright. Didn't look that bad. But it does seem to be a bit more of just Color Splash. Not of Color Splash, of Sticker Star. But that's coming out October 7th, as well as Mario Party Star Rush. What else? Oh, Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix coming 20-something of October. And other than that, there's not really been any other Nintendo game with a release date. So I think we could...
Not until Sun and Moon, really.
That's true. That's 23rd of November over here. I don't know why it's on a Wednesday, but it is. But yeah, I think we could be seeing the NX revealed in September. I really think so.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, alright, so I think that wraps it up for this section, so let's move on to the next section. So this is the final section right now, as well as our shout-out sections. But we do have a couple of stuff people have sent in specifically too, which is quite good. The Nintendo Guru has commented on Metroid's 30th anniversary because we put out the call, what are some of your memories of Metroid because it's 30th anniversary. Nintendo Guru has said, my memory is finally understanding the concept of the game at that aha moment, then just tearing the game up. Loved it. Have you guys played the original Metroid at all, or?
Well, I played Super Metroid. But...
I've played the original NES one, but when on the Wii, I've got it on there.
Oh, okay.
I've never actually played Super Metroid, but I played all of Metroid Primes.
Super Metroid is kind of the same. You're like, oh, I didn't know that. And it's like, do you remember the bit I had where I was in that glass tube and I couldn't get anywhere and I had to bomb the tube to break it open? I was like,
I do.
Oh.
And other people can watch it on your channel as well.
Yes, they'll see my utter rage and disgust at like, how was I supposed to figure that out sort of moment.
Yeah, but I've not played a lot of it.
Well, I've been thinking about getting Super Metroid, either Super Metroid or Donkey Kong Country on my 3DS. I think that'd be a good one to get on the go. Well, yeah. And then Manic.
Thank you for your
yeah.
shout out, by the way, Nintendo Guru. It's very nice of you.
Manic, otherwise known as Rose of Death, who's a big fan of the show. He asked us a question. He asked if you had to choose a game to launch or come out within 6 months of the NX, not main games, what would it be? Of course, I'm hoping for another installment of Punch Out. By not main games, I'm not sure what he means. I take that as either Zelda,
I would
Mario,
say
or
not.
Pokemon.
Yeah, no Mario, no Zelda, no Pokemon.
So that's just what I'm gonna go with this. Sorry if we misinterpret that. So what would you...
I would go...
Misinterpret, yeah.
I would like to see Yooka-Laylee on an X.
Good.
I would like to see the next Shovel Knight.
That'd be a good one.
Ooh.
Shovel Knight 2, Shovels of Justice.
Well, I think they're working on the extra stories, aren't they? The extra campaigns.
I haven't heard anything about extra stories yet.
Well, I think
we've obviously had Plague Knight, but that's it.
But I think we have two more.
King Knight's on his way.
Yeah, you got King Knight and you got Spectre Knight. I don't think they're gonna go through with the whole roster, but
I hope they do Spectre Knight, please.
Well,
please.
they are definitely doing Spectre Knight. Anyway,
it's just when.
I've seen King Knight in gameplay, so that would be very soon.
If I had to choose a game for the NX, I kind of want to say either F-Zero or Mother 3, so fans could just finally shut up and say that we finally have either one.
Undertale.
Oh, that's a good show actually. Although still have yet to play the other paths. But personally, I would like a new Kirby Dream Course because I love that game. It's so fun, yet it's so frustrating. It's like another Mario Kart.
It's Kirby Golf.
Yeah,
it's
Kirby
brilliant.
Golf, but like on the same level as Rage and Friendship Breaking as Mario Kart. it really is. Like, if you ever play it with me, that is just like no. But yeah, that's what I'd like. If it's the next Kirby game, I want it to be a 4-player Kirby Dream Course. High graphics, more than 4 courses, like a lot of courses, each with 9 holes, online gameplay. You know, I'd love that. Like, I'd get that. That'd be amazing.
I see a lot of friendships being broken with
exactly. That's my true aim. That's my true aim. The true friendship
to break
breaker.
friendships.
Yeah. Anyway. So thank you, Manic, for that question. Our first question in like about a year. So yeah, so we move on to our shout-outs now. We're approaching the end. So who wants to pick a shout-out?
Jack, you go first. You haven't gone first yet.
I've got a few. I wanted to shout out to Monster Hunter Offline again. Because we popped into their event and it was really, really cool. There was lots of cool Monster Hunter people and they're all people dressed up and everyone was having fun, so it was really cool. Thanks for letting us come along and yeah, hopefully you have loads more in the future. I see that Angela's doing a massive tour of the country.
Yeah, you beat me to that. I was going to say she's doing a big tour of all the Monster Hunter events. Bless her little heart. And she's got her kids along with her as well. So cute.
Yeah, I think she's gone out as far as like Birmingham, Norwich, and all over the place. Crazy places. But fair play to you. Carry on. Do it all. Woo!
Yeah.
2 Street Pass shout-outs to Portsmouth and Reading. I went to Portsmouth event in game. They had like a little mini gathering. with Rich and Kat, and basically got people to draw their own designs for Pokemon if they wanted to see it in a game. And there was a girl who was really good at drawing, and she drew a Snorlax Lickitung hybrid thing, and it was incredible.
Oh my god!
Yeah, shout out to you. I don't know who she was, but hopefully the True Passports will know, and they can say we mentioned her. So
there will be famine everywhere with that Pokemon hybrid.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, very strange. Street Pass Reading for their wonderful Monster Hunter event. It was really good fun. Again, I was there most of the time with James, Beth, Kat, and Alex was there with a few others of their group. I think the guys from Basingstoke. It was a really good large event. I think they had about 20 to 30 people in the end, and it was really nice to see. And they're doing really well up there. Sorry. So yeah, cheers guys. There's a shout out for you. A quick one. I've been speaking to a guy on Twitter this week, all the way from Brazil, Bruno Gasperi. I think he's got the same Twitter handle as well, but I'll share it on my page so you can all go follow him. He said he's subscribed to both our YouTube channels and the podcast YouTube channel. So I was like, cheers, dude. A guy from Brazil to subscribe to me. I was like, yes, that's well cool. So thanks very much for that, dude.
That's pretty cool.
Also, one last shout out is to Tom Dent, who's a friend of the podcast. He's basically he lives like Southampton way, and he works for Game.
Oh, okay.
He's social media manager for Game now, I think.
Wow.
And he's lucky enough to be going over to Gamescom and covering all the bits and pieces over there this week.
Oh, okay.
And if you check out his Twitter page, which is @_with underscore at the end. He has done loads of videos for the Game's YouTube channel, and he's linked it all on there. Or you just check out Game's YouTube, and you'll see his beautiful face on there. So say hello to Tom. He's a nice guy, and it was really weird when I saw him on a video. I was like, I know him. So yeah, so cool. That's my shout outs. There's loads of them, but done. Let's go.
Right. Sam, do you want to go next?
Then? Yeah. So shout out to Cyberjam Gaming, for having us and letting us join in their event. I know I had a really good time. I can say that. It was just good to get to meet other people and just talk games, play games, have fun. And Sam Clark as well for doing so well in Pokemon Go. I mean, to get pretty much nearly all the Pokemon is a real feat in itself. And he's had quite a bit of negativity from some people, which is sad, but he's I know I support him, and other people have supported him, and he's done so well, and he's not only for just the game, but for his health as well. He lost 2 stone. Amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, just goes to show it's not a bad thing. Jack's already sold my one for Angela.
Sorry.
Daniel, just shout out to all the Street Pass groups. To anybody who's still unsure, check out the Street Pass UK page. Find your local Street Pass group. Go out there and meet some people, because it's a real experience.
Especially if you like Monster Hunter at the moment, because that's going to be everywhere.
It will be everywhere at the moment, but there'll be other people who want to talk other games, other things. Go out, meet people. If you're scared, ask a friend to go with you. You'll get to meet some amazing people.
Just a quick one. Just a shout out to Street Pass Winchester for congratulations on your first event, and I think they've got a few more coming up in the future. So, well done, guys.
Yeah, well done to them.
Good job.
I was going to say, leading on from my thing, a shout out to one of our now more local people in Matthew Charlesworth, who's been coming to some of our street past Southampton like coffee meetups, and he's been making a real effort to come to them as well. That's what I mean. You get to meet some really awesome people, and Matthew's been great. We've had some really good fun giggles, just chatted about games. Poor guys.
He's turned into my nemesis from America as well. He's been joining the league nights. So, he comes second on one, well, I will come first on, and I come first. Vice versa. On the 2 Grand Prix we were in, I was like, "Ooh, this is going to be interesting." So, yeah. I mean, this is what I mean. Get out there and have some fun with other people, because it's a great experience. Matt, who are your shout-outs for?
So first of all, I feel like I have to say this. Everybody that is getting the results, if you're doing A-level or doing GCSE, I just like wish you all the best. I can't really say don't worry if Jack, no, stop typing in my thing. I don't get disheartened if you get bad results, but I can't really speak because who knows how I will act when I get my results. I was in the same position for GCSE last year, and I was really worried going into it, but you never really know going into the thing, but just take it like that's what you got, and there's no changing it unless you want to get remarked or rechecked if you want to get it. But don't let that like dishearten you. Like that's not going to be the end of it. Just keep on pushing forward. All that good stuff.
I think to add on, Matt, I'd say if you don't get what you were hoping for, expecting, go and speak to your tutors or your teachers. They're gonna have experiences 100 times over. They're gonna know what to do. Don't be afraid to tell your family or your parents if you didn't get what you want. They're there to support you. Don't feel like you can't talk about it, because the worst thing you can do is bottle up that feeling inside. So make sure you talk to someone about it, because you can get the help you need to then push forward, like Matt says, to get onto better things.
Well said.
Well, I can't really speak that for A-levels because, like, by the time this episode goes up, people will have already got their A-level results. So, that's a weird thought.
We hope you got what you wanted.
Yeah, to everybody. Just 2 more shout-outs here. The other one is to Insane in the Rain Music. It's a channel on YouTube that is dedicated to making just the greatest jazz covers of video game music.
So good. It's so good.
Really good covers. I'm planning on asking him to come on. I'm planning, so you may see him or hear him rather. Is hoping, but definitely check him out. He makes just the most outstanding jazz cover themes. Definitely one of my favourite VGM cover artists. Just has a totally unique style. My favourites include one of the more recent ones being A Light from Fire Emblem Fates, Garo Plains from Xenoblade Chronicles. Just like a lot of good ones, and I'm thinking of supporting on Patreon because like I have a good amount of money, so I'm thinking of supporting people as well. And the other one, to DS London. They'll be holding the 200th meetup on Saturday, the 27th of August, and it'll be this DS London Championships thing. So will be like a big tourney of 32 players, I believe, and I just can't wait for it because the only DS London I've been to so far was back at Comic-Con, and that was good fun, but I can't wait to just meet up with Lee Moore, who's been on the podcast. Can't wait to see him potentially for the first time, and meet back with some of the DS London crew again. So I will be there, hopefully. So definitely check.
I'm kind of gutted with this because it's a bank holiday weekend, isn't it?
Oh, so you can't.
And well, I might be going to not EGX. What's the other one? Insomnia.
Oh,
Might be
it's
going to
something, yeah.
that
Oh,
weekend.
is that the same weekend?
Same weekend, so I might not be able to make it, but it
Okay.
really depends. I'm still undecided at the moment, so
If you
I'm
can,
going to be going to
come.
one of them.
If you can come, please come. That'd be great seeing you.
I'll
in person.
try.
Yeah.
I'll try. I'll see.
And also the other thing as well is back at the Comic Con event. I believe it was JJ. I believe it was he sort of interviewed me quickly, asking about the event and other stuff as well. And that audio clip was put in at the end of the latest DS London podcast, where they talked about Hyper Japan and Pokemon Go. So definitely check out their podcast as well. It's it was good to listen to, another good Nintendo themed podcast. And they also did a little talk with James from Nintendo UK, as well as some other people within the community. So yeah, it was a good episode. So I'm glad that I was able to be in there, because I was worrying where that little clip went. So if you do want to check out that little clip as well as a great episode, then definitely check out episode 51, I believe it was, where they talked about Hype Japan. But yeah, that's round about it for shoutouts. Any final shoutouts before we close out?
I think I'm shout-outed it. All shouted out.
All shoutouts. Anyway, so let's just begin to wrap it up. Nintendo Podcast System is a part of VGTribune.com, a site dedicated to video games with writers and people like Matthew Williams, Andy, and fellow podcast Nintendo Dads. You can find us on social media too, with our Facebook being N Podcast System. Is that right, Jack? Or
It is right.
yeah, at N Podcast System, and our Twitter handle is also N Podcast System. The pod can also be found on either YouTube, iTunes, and Podomatic. Our email is nintendopodcastsystem@gmail.com. If you have any burning questions for us. So Jack,
You can also tweet us.
yeah, you could also tweet at us, go on our Facebook, interact there, whatever. So just a couple of things left. So Jack, where can people find you?
You can find me on the internet at Gorny7789. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and loads of other stuff. Just try and find me.
And Sam, what about yourself? Where can people find you and check out your stuff?
On Twitter, you can find me just normal stuff, Sam Spade _UK. For my gaming channel on Twitter, it's Sam Spade Gaming. I'm on YouTube, and also Facebook. You can find me in Street Pass Southampton. Bits like that.
And you can find myself on Twitter at Acegibbo, ACEGIBBO. And you can also find my articles in VGTribune. Right now, I'm working on how Pokémon Sun and Moon is the most ambitious main series Pokémon game, as well as potentially a review for Danganronpa. I recently put up a review for Kirby Planet Robobot, if you want to check that out. But right now, and actually I've also put up a poll that only sadly one person answered, but I'm thinking of doing this. Right now there are 3 anime seasons that I'm currently watching, all gaming related. There's the Ace Attorney series, which is the adaptation. Right now it's the adaptation of the second game, Justice for All. But I'm also watching Danganronpa 3, Future Side and the Spare Side. And what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about doing a review at the end of the series for each of those. So they're all gaming related stuff, will be a good fit. So definitely follow me if you're interested in those anime series. If you wanted my opinion on the whole show, I'm thinking of doing that when the season ends. So that's a good 6 weeks from now. But Let me know
Just a
if
quick
you've
one.
heard that.
Just a quick one.
What's
Yeah.
Just a quick one. Just a quick one.
Go on.
Friend of the podcast again. A new podcast. If you like anime, Mystery Gift Podcast. Check it out on Twitter and iTunes.
Put that in the Google Docs so I won't forget. Yeah. I have to check them out. I kind of
will
like the
add it
concept.
to the description.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically done a quick 30-minute pilot to see how it works, and they really hit it off really well, and they talk about a lot of gaming and anime sort of thing.
Okay. I believe
They
the next
to
episode.
watch One Punch Man as well,
Yeah, that's a good show.
which is really good. It's really weird, but really good. So
Anyway.
worth a look.
So we are almost wrapped up here, but we just have one final bit. Jack, what is our ending music?
Ending music. Well, I thought because we got that Metroid Prime Federation Force coming out, that we would ignore all the music from that game and just have the Metroid Prime main title theme from the original,
Hey.
because that's a really good song. So listen to that now. Boom.
Right now. So thanks for listening to Nintendo Podcast System episode 29. I have been Matthew Gibson. This has been my wonderful co-hosts Jack Gorn and Sam Gorn. Not even co-hosts, just other hosts.
Sam Gorn.
Sam Gorn, yeah, that one guy. Yeah, but thank you so much for listening and happy gaming.
Bye bye.
Don't play that silly game with balls and stuff.